Ahoy, mateys! Have you ever been on a pirate ship? Arg! Have you ever been on a boat? Well, have you ever been in the middle of an ocean? Maybe, maybe not. But it's what I think of when I hear this rhyme. Rub-a-dub-dub, 3 men in a tub. And who do you think they be? The butcher, the baker, the candlestick maker, and all of them gone to sea. Now, why would they have gone to sea? It's been very interesting looking at these various rhymes that many of us have learned and heard over the years. And some of these rhymes have very interesting stories and meanings behind the words. And this is one of the rhymes that has a meaning totally different than what I would have ever imagined. Rub-a-dub-dub is a rhyme dating back to the late 18th century England. In its original version, the song was talking about 3 women in a tub instead of 3 men. And the scene is one of 3 reputable men watching the women in a less than decent moment. And that's all I'm going to say about that. Except to say that apparently these men were put out to sea for not being nice. They were involved in doing something wrong. Now, do you remember what happened in the pirate ships of old when someone did something wrong? Arg! They had to walk the plank and were then left stranded on an island or in the ocean as payment for what they did wrong. You know, as human beings, we sometimes do what we are not supposed to do. And when we do something wrong, and it is against the ways of God, it is called a sin, right? There are a lot of references in the Bible regarding sin. And rightly so, because a big part of God's story is dealing with our sin so that we could have a relationship with a holy God. Romans 3:23 says, everyone has sinned. No one measures up to God's glory. Wow. Well, what do we do then when we do something we shouldn't be doing? What should we do when we sin? How can we have a relationship with a holy God? Well, first we admit or confess our sin. We say that what we did was wrong. Psalm 32 verse 5 says, "Then I admitted my sin to you, God. I didn't cover up the wrong I had done. I said, I will admit my lawless acts to the Lord, and you forgave the guilt of my sin." It's important to be honest. Proverbs 28:13 from the Old Testament says, "Anyone who hides their sins doesn't succeed, but anyone who admits their sins and gives them up finds mercy." Once we give them up, then we can ask for forgiveness. Once we admit we've done it, we ask for forgiveness. We say that we didn't like the wrong we done, and we want to make it right. And by doing this, then, God will forgive us because of his love to us through Jesus Christ. 1 John 1:9 says, "God is faithful and fair. If we confess our sins, he will forgive our sins. He will forgive every wrong thing we have done. He will make us pure." You know, I always need to be aware of the things that I do that are not God's ways. And I need to be careful to not think that everything I do is okay. Sometimes it's not. And I need to extend forgiveness to others who do wrong things as well. Jesus said in Luke chapter 6, "If you do not judge other people, then you will not be judged. If you do not find others guilty, then you will not be found guilty. Forgive, and you will be forgiven." Well, now that I know this about rub-a-dub-dub, 3 men in a tub, whenever I hear that again, my response may be a bit different from now on. It will remind me to check my obedience to God and to do what is right in his sight, to live honestly and openly in God's sight. And because of forgiveness for sins, I can do that. Because of forgiveness of my sins, I can live with joy and I can live with peace. And so I wish for you a day filled with joy also, and a day filled with peace. Arg!